wanted to kind of do this little video because I had a great download information during the week, and I was doing like pulling the cards, as I said, and this is the one that came up, right? And this is about celebration, joy, bliss, happiness, you know, family, maybe a celebration, a wedding, or something like this. But when this came in, right, the message actually was, you know, it's about the little things. Celebrate the little things along the path to your big celebrations, because everything is a celebration. That's how they look at it from the other side, right? And although it may be challenging for us, because what, we got to get out of bed, we got to brush our teeth, we got to go to work, we got to do this, we got to do that, we got to eat, we got to go work out, we got to, and a lot of it is not fulfilling our wish or enjoyable to us, right? Especially when we're going through stuff and we're suffering. You know, if you are facing illness, or if you're facing, you know, depression or unhappiness or illness, cancer, if you're in a job you don't want to be in, you're living in a place or a bad relationship, you know, it can be a struggle. So if you're struggling, right, the message was, see everything as a celebration, because this is actually going to lead you to somewhere else better, right? It's building you. People say building character, but it's building you to build things in the future. It's helping you maybe gain strength, gain awareness, gain understanding, gain purpose, gain the ability to stand up for yourself, maybe gaining something else. It's an evolution of process, right? Which brings you to what I talked about in the other video about your manifestation of what you're wanting to create and work on in your manifestations, right? And so it's the little steps, the milestones within the big experiences and big celebrations that gets you there. It's the little path, the little steps and the pebbles along the way that you're jumping on until you become into this big rock, if you will. You have these little pebbles, and then you get to this big rock where you can just sit and relax and chill, right? So it's the little pebbles along the way, the little milestones that make it that way. And it's the creation of it that's happening for you right now on the timeline that's creating to the bigger purpose, the bigger overall, the bigger perspective of what's going to be happening, right? And that's where the big celebrations come in. So you have the little ones, the little milestones, and then you have the big ones, and then you have the little milestones, and then you have the big ones, right? And it can be challenging in the little ones, right? And sometimes they question me and they said to me, because I know I'm going through it, it's like trying to get to where, you know, my big manifestation is. I've had gone through a lot of stuff in this lifetime and previous lifetimes, just to be here where I am now in this form of the Laura version of myself. And, you know, with that being said, it's the little milestones that can create havoc, can create illness, you know, suffering, not wanting to get up for the day, not finding happiness, feeling off balance, not feeling motivated, not doing things, you know, towards it. And sometimes we have to have those spaces where we're not motivated, and that's okay. But we look at it as a bad thing, right? But maybe that's just the time where you need to chill and relax. Not motivated gives you the opportunity to be motivated, because that's an intention. So when we feel not motivated, and if you put your intention, you're motivating yourself, right? You don't need that motivation from outside of yourself. It's like, okay, I don't feel motivated to do anything today. But then you're like, okay, well, I know nothing's going to get done. You have this dialogue with yourself. So you are motivating yourself in intention to purposely do it. That's motivation, right? So it's the lack of motivation that motivates you, right? The ability that you know you need to do it in order to get to where you need to be. Because if you don't go to work, you can't make money, right? So you have to motivate yourself to get up in the morning, get dressed, brush your teeth, get in the car, drive, get your stuff, and go, right? So that's motivation. It's a creation of motivation within itself, its own path, its own cycle. It's creating that ability to have and gain the ability to motivate yourself, right? It doesn't come from outside of you. It comes from within you. And so in that process of motivation, you're allowing yourself to be in that present moment of where you are with intention. That's creating intention. That's difference between intention and lack of intention, right? Is when you motivate yourself to be there. And a lot of people struggle with that. Yes, I get that. If you're in depression or whatever the case may be, but it's allowing of that to become your motivation, whatever you're going through, in order to get you to where you need to be, right? When we are in lax or flux or whatever the case may be for you, in order to be where you need to be, it's the creation of it, right? It's helping you, which is a lot of little milestones, right, along the path. That's creating the ability to do that, because then you can help other people with that, right? And so even if it is just you going through the path to understand that purpose, you're motivating yourself, the influx of that, creating an opportunity for you to help other people in that way, so you can help people who are going through the same thing, right? The lack of motivation. And so it's the lack or the absence of it that's creating it, the momentum to help you create that. And so when you can create that, you've been through it, you've gone through it, and now you can teach it, right? So then that becomes your milestone. And then you celebrate it, right? And so that's what this card was kind of representing. It's representing the little milestones, because how they see it on the other side is everything is a celebration. Even if you're throwing up, even if you're dealing with migraines, even if you're dealing with just getting up in the morning, even if you're just dealing with working on strength, standing up for yourself, whatever those little milestones are is in celebration, right? And so they had questioned and they put that to me. It's like, because in my experience, when you've had the near-death experience, you've been to the other side, coming back here is quite an adjustment, right? And so I struggled with that for on and off through periods. It's like, because you already remember what's on the other side. It's love, peace, happiness, joy, and blessing. You come here, and it's like the absence of, which is the creation of all things, and everybody's creating, doing these things, which aren't in alignment with that, and it's like when you look at it, it's like, God, why am I here? Why did I choose to come back, right? So I do get into these periods of time where I'm like, I want to go back home. I want to be in love. I want to be in joy and bliss and where it feels good, and it's working on creating that here for myself, part of it, right? And to help others with that. And so it's the lack and absence of what I know from that side that I'm helping to bring in for this side for people, not only for people, but for myself, right? And to live from that space of awareness, right? And it's the aspect of that that's the lack or absence of it that brings me back into that space when I'm not in it, right? And so it's like, okay, I got to motivate myself, right? I got to get myself back into it. And it's like a daily process, right, to do that. For me, otherwise, I'm kind of not in that space, right? Which is a lack. Again, going back into that space of where it is that I don't want to be. So it's the motivation of bringing that in. So, but anyway, they oppose it to me as, and I'm sharing this with you, right? Because this was a great tool for myself, right? It's like, can you look at it from everything as a celebration as they see it on the other side? Because they celebrate you and everything that you do. Like I said, even if you're a side of itself, like if you're going through turmoil, if you're going through suffering, if you're broke your leg, if you you fell, if you've thrown up, or you're sick, or you're ill, or you're off your path in some way on the bypath, right? Can you celebrate that? Right? Can you just celebrate that? Right? And when you can just celebrate that, like just getting up in the morning, it turns your whole perspective and allows you to be in alignment with love. It allows you to be in alignment with them, right? That brings love, that brings happiness, joy, bliss into your life. Can you celebrate that and say to yourself, getting up in the morning is celebration. Brushing my teeth is celebration. Eating my breakfast is celebration. Acknowledging the little steps along the way, the path. When you get into those places where you're in a depression, or if in your suffering, or in your place that you don't want to be, it's an absence of what you're wanting, right? But in absence of it, you can create a space of wanting, right? And that brings you back to the path of wanting, right? You're in alignment now, right? And so when you can do that, ask yourself, as you're struggling through your day, can I be in that space and see just that, my little mile steps, my little stepping stones, is a celebration because they celebrate you on the other side, in everything and all things that you do, because there's no judgment, there's no punishment, there's no hatred, there's only love, there's only peace, love, joy, bliss, and alignment with you, because that's all that they want for you from the other side, right? But we diminish that because we believe from certain belief systems that, oh, we're judged, we're blamed, we're kicked into hell, and all this stuff. But it actually isn't, right? And so we stumble, we fall as a human version of ourselves in the lack of existence, which is the timeline that we're living out on all perspectives, right? And it's allowing of that understanding to come in and fold for you to have that higher consciousness and your awareness of where it is that you are on the timeline, your little stepping stones, your accomplishments, your achievements, your failures, your opinions, your lack of understanding, your ignorance, your hate, even your hatred, right? That is a milestone. That can my hatred be a celebration? Can I celebrate my anger? Can I celebrate how I feel in this moment? Can I celebrate my understanding, my love, my conditions? Can I just love all of that as Source loves you in the present moment, as you are? Because that's who you truly are. That's where you are in the moment, and that's who you are. That's your existence, right? And so Source loves that about you on all timelines, no matter where it is that you are, knowing and allowing that you have this time frame to work on it, right? And so it's not an end all to your being, because you can always change it by changing your perspective and allowing that to come through and for you on the highest and best level of awareness that you can be in the moment. And so it's the higher evolution of your existence. And so, like, even Abraham Hicks did the whole, moving up the timeline by emotional scale. And so it's the perspective of how can I see this as a celebration, right? That raises your vibration, actually. And so I use that. I started integrating that today, actually, and it did. It like shifted. I wow, yeah. Try that, right? Say when you get up, in the morning, see that as a celebration. Okay, my waking up is a celebration. My getting in the shower is a celebration. Just say it to yourself, right? See how it feels. Tune into how you feel on that vibration, how it raises you like that, right? It's a celebration. Everything is a celebration from the other side. It's us who diminish that and see it as not, right? It's the realization that we are all in celebration and happiness, joy, bliss, and love from the other side. And hopefully that helps. And I wanted to kind of share and clarify that. I did post this a couple times everywhere, and that's why I did that, because it's such a great way to get you from the lack, absence, or perspective of not allowing or being or struggling to in alignment immediately, right? Try it out, check it out. If you have any questions, if you do try it, definitely post it below. I want to hear how it's helped you. I know, because I always like to try it out for myself, of course, before also sharing it. So I've been working with that energy, and it works, right? And so, like, when you're stepping in the shower, just say to yourself, taking a shower is a celebration. When you're brushing your teeth, brushing my teeth is a celebration. And just get into the practice of it as you go through your day. When you're in those spaces of struggling, the timeline of the lack or absence of what you're wanting, no matter what it is, illness, depression, this is a celebration. And a lot of people, maybe most likely, they know what that's like. People with cancer in their hospital, it's like every day is a struggle, right? Every moment is a struggle, right? And so when we can see it from that point of view, that is your next breath is a celebration, your next thought is a celebration, you're moving your foot is a celebration, you're feeling your feelings is a celebration, your desire or wanting to be loved is a celebration, right? To change how you see things is a celebration. Everything is a celebration, right? So don't negate anything and all things, because it's a process of purpose, right? Intention that we're setting for ourselves, that's allowing us to be in the next moment, in the next space, the next awareness that you have in that moment, and creating from that point another point of view, right? Because wherever you are creates another one, which is manifesting. So if we can do that in a manifesting place where we're not wanting to be, that everything is a celebration, then we can have more than where it is that we are, because it brings us to a point of raising our vibration and seeing it from a different, higher perspective, which is aligned with source, angels, guides, masters, and teachers, right? Where they are on that side, on the other side. And with that, we're not in a lack of absence anymore. We're in alignment, we're connected, right? From that perspective, and we can receive more, we can see more, we can understand more, we can be in alignment and have that understanding of what we're connected to, instead of not connected to, if that makes sense, because that's the perspective that brings you into alignment with who you truly are, and it raises your vibration. And so you may actually have, and I want to put this out there, you may have, when you do this, you may feel emotions rising. It's okay, just let them go, just let them out, because it's raising your vibration. It's getting rid of those emotions, those vibrations, those energies that's keeping you low, right? And it brings you up. So whenever you're rising up out of the emotional scale, emotions will rise, right? Because you can't be here if you're here. In order for you to get here, you have to release those out of the way. And so putting yourself in the place of where they are from the other side, in that perspective, everything is a celebration. And to honor that, this is a celebration, that I can get up and do this. I can walk, I can feel, I can swim, I can carry groceries, whatever it is may be, right? Put yourself in that space of celebration with everything, right? And you will see the shift in paradigms in relation to that, where you are on that timeline, right? With the perspective, right? It's changing your energy vibration, maybe not by your thought, but the energy of vibration, and you can just feel it. So bring that into your awareness every day as you're creating, going through those times where what you're maybe not manifesting in the present moment, but you're currently on the way to manifesting. That's bringing it in. But when we're in the absence of and realizing that we don't have it yet, we may get down or feel, or whatever the case may be, bring it into the understanding that everything is celebrated, right? I'm celebrated just for being me, right? And it just is. That's just the way that it is on the other side. And it's happy, joy, bliss, and love, right? So again, if you try this out, everything is in celebration, even when it's not a big celebration. Post it below and see how you feel. Share your experience with it, if it's helped you, or if it's helped. Have you had emotions come up and erupt, and just be with that and let them come out, right? It's okay to let your emotions come up, because then you can get to the higher perspective. All right. Happy journeys. Hopefully that helps.